The top line there, the purple line, is with technology. The green line is without technology. And you can see that the top line, I found this very interesting. Since 2000, we've been in a basing range, it seems, for the top part of the chart here. And whenever we hit that 70 billion mark, we tended to go back down. Well, we've broken out of that. Importantly, I think, because of AI and the ChatGPT moment. But you can see before that moment, the non-AI part of this chart on the bottom there was really putting a drag on the total, and only recently has turned back up. We think it's important and significant that this purple line has broken out to all-time highs and is probably going to go a lot higher if our view on capital spending related to AI, including power, is correct. So this has been a leading indicator. It's starting to come out. We're just getting to old highs. And we do think we're going to see a breakout here, which could be quite significant. China is very important. Now, what you're seeing here is not a measure of inflation or deflation, but investment as a percent of GDP. It's China in the purple line and the US in the green line. This is total investment, so it includes property, residential and non-residential. And you can see the excesses here in China. China's investment as a share of GDP went to more than twice that of the United States and is still roughly that. Now, the extended lines you see here in different colors, those are IMF projections. We think that the investment line for China will continue to come down. But what this excess in investment suggests is the build out of production capacity and the exporting of more and more deflation. I'm sure a lot of you have heard stories about BYD entering Europe and the Middle East, and its car prices are in the $25,000 range for a very nice car. Our tariffs are so high on them, I think they might be almost 200%, that we don't see that much in the United States. But China is exporting deflation to the point where President Xi Jinping has told its own companies, China's own companies, hey, cut it out. Not only are we exporting deflation and hurting companies in the rest of the world, you're killing each other. So let's get a little more rational. That's why we think this investment line might continue down during the next few years. In the US, with AI and power, both those build outs, especially power being neglected for so long, as opposed to in China. China's building 28 nuclear plants, big ones as we speak. We're building 0. That we think is going to change. So our line will probably start going up to some extent. So the last chart I'll show in terms of illustrating the rolling recession, and I could show a lot more. Anything having to do with small business has had a very tough time over the last 3 years. The last one I'll show is consumer confidence for 3 income categories: high income, middle income, and low income. So this is as measured by the University of Michigan. This index or survey started in the 70s. So I've been watching it my entire career. Something has changed recently, and that is the way they collect the survey data. It used to be person to person or on the phone. Now it is online, and it does seem that there has been a tilting of the survey results towards more Democrats than Republicans. It used to be 50-50. Now I believe it's 70% Democrats and 30% Republicans. So there's a little more bias in this, and I wanted to make sure that everyone understood it. It's not completely apples to apples throughout history here. Nonetheless, you can see how low confidence is. It's as bad now for the lower income categories as it's worse than 08, 09. And you have to go back to 1980 when we were at double-digit inflation and interest rates to see sentiment this poor. So the consumer is not in a good mood. And in fact, the most recent numbers show that the consumer still expects elevated inflation. And in fact, it ticked up a bit in the last couple of months, expectations into the 3 to 4% range. Now, this is a very important call on our part. We do not believe that's going to be the case, and that consumer sentiment will turn around as more and more prices that are important to consumers start coming down. And one of those, well, before I go on to the prices coming down, let me illustrate a few other reasons that the consumer is unhappy. The unemployment rate, the total unemployment rate, looks fairly low if you look at the lowest line there, which is the total. It looks low by historical standards, and it is. But if you look at the black line at the top, you'll see unemployment in the younger generation. Now, I used to refer to this as new college graduates. That was a mistake. And it's really 16 to 24-year-olds. That's the black line. And you can see that unemployment rate. It has been going up for the last 3 years. It is at 12%, which is double digit. And so therefore, while the overall unemployment rate looks fairly tame, the brunt of the recent increase has been borne by the younger generation. And as I have said before, the younger generation is AI native. We don't even say digitally native anymore, AI native. So I'm saying go for it. You see a business that could solve a problem that you see out there, work with ChatGPT or Grok to start your business. I remember when I started my business, I was starting from zero. I had forgotten how to do PowerPoint and everything, and I had to start all over. Now ChatGPT can help you design a business plan, a marketing plan, a sales plan. You just have to have the good idea.